how to make your life work. So the first class, we focused on the need to work over a job and how productive work can create your job. So the first class was to focus on how you need to prioritize working over your CVs and prioritize your work over your job, all right? And how to make anything work, be it your passion or your marriage, just by improving your work. Now, in this session, we are going to deal with the anatomy of work and how to make your life work. And I know that Nigerians like this kind of topic. My life must work. You know, you have had midnight prayers and you have drank anointing oil and all kinds of oil because you want to make your life work. I'm not very sure that I'll make you very happy with the things that you're about to hear. But I'm going to show you 10 ways. Is that okay? 10 ways on how to make your life work. So if you're writing, you want to write these items down. So number one is that you have to work without pay. Say, ouch. That's number one. Number two is work first for yourself. Number three is work on yourself. Number four is you work for people. Number five, which I think for many of you will sound very controversial again, is that you work for money. And I know many of you have had many trainings that teaches you never work for money. Have you heard that before? Don't ever work for money. Let money work for you. You will never get there if you don't follow this corridor. Number six, work as a manager. Number seven, work productively. Number eight, work hard. Number nine, work creatively and consistently. And number 10, the one you want to hear, is make money work for you. So let's start. Number one, work without payment. And the first thing I want you to write down is that the best way to find yourself is to be first selfless. Write it down. The best way to find yourself is to be first selfless. And the journey of a productive life begins from selflessness, where you are in a place that you are willing and you are committed to work without pay. I'm not saying that you are in a place where you have no option but to work without pay. I'm saying that you must train your mind on the start of your journey to admit to work, to commit to work, to devote to work without pay. And this principle you will never outgrow if you are a productive person. Because even after many, many years of working, after many, many years of doing what we do, I still work without pay. Because there is something that working without pay does to your nature, that it does to your character. So if you want to make your life work, you must first begin by working without pay. You may have to do that in your uncle's house, in your auntie's house, in your friend's house, in your boss's house, in your enemy's house. I really don't care. But it's important that the culture of selflessness must form the fabrics of anything you want to become. The reason why many people derail, if you agree with me, is self. Do you agree? If everything that is important to you circles around you, you are bound to lose your way. Period. As a father, as a mother, as a sister, as a child, if self is your driving force, you are bound to lose your way. And if you want to be certain to find your way, that journey begins with selflessness. So I say commit to work and bond with work. You want to wake up in the morning and you are working without anybody seeing you. You want to create your romance with work in this phase. This is where you create your real bonding. This is the fuel that will drive this vehicle for the next 20 years. Because your mind has been trained to just love work for work. Do you get it now? This phase as well is the phase that you begin to build innate treasures. And innate treasures are inherent values. They are things that will never go anywhere. If you are good at working, you will do good in medicine. You will do good in farming. You will do good in being a wife because you are good at work. And this is where to learn it. If your driving and propelling force is money for every work you do, then you lack value. So you must begin this journey by working without pay. Come on, say work without pay. Number 2, you work first for yourself. Oh my God, this is so important. Now, many of you, when you go to work in the morning, you go to work for your boss. Am I correct? You go into your office to work for the company. And that's why you are so sad. That's why you are so depressed. That's why you are never satisfied with any job. You have changed 8 jobs in 2 years and you're still not happy. Because you keep working for the company. That's your problem. Every time you show up for yourself. You show up for you. Let your boss be you. You may be working for any company. I don't need to know the name. But the attitude for work and for a productive life is that you work first for yourself. Never work first for your boss. Never work first for the company. In fact, never work first for your children. Appreciate the seasons of oblivion. The place where nobody may appreciate you. And it doesn't really matter. You know why? Because number 1, you have already learned how to work without pay. So it doesn't really matter. Number 2 now, the real person you are working for is for who? So who really needs to appreciate you? Many homes have broken. Because when the husband provided, he provided first for his wife and children. Oh my God. The reason why he's so depressed and always irritated by his wife is that he thinks he's giving too much for his wife. And what am I getting back in return? If he had come for this class, he would have been delivered. Because you understand that whatever you do for your family, you do first for yourself. Anything you give to your children, to your wife, to your father, to your mother, do it first for yourself. If you do so, nobody can depress you out of doing good. Because you have the capacity to appreciate yourself and to value your actions every single time and anytime you please. Because you are working first for yourself. And when you work for yourself, you want to be a fair boss. Are you following me now? So if you're a fair boss, number 1, you will rate your work. So because you are working for yourself does not mean you should give a pass mark to everything you do. So, several years ago, we did a job in Guaripa, a renovation work. And when the job was done, I paid a visit to the site. And I saw some things that my guys had done that I didn't like it. I didn't like it. The owner of the house, a big man, came. He said, "Wow, this is beautiful. I like what you guys did here." I said, "Sir, I don't like it." He said, No. Apeh, no. I said, "No, sir, I don't like it. They will remove it tomorrow." He said, No, leave it. I said, Because I am working for myself first. As far as I am concerned, I have rated this work. It's not to my standard. It is to his standard, the payer. But you see that my attitude is not an attitude of a job seeker. Because if I'm a job seeker, I should be satisfied that the one who is paying for me to do the job likes the job. But I'm working first for myself. I say, this thing, it will come down. And number two, it will come down at our expense. 1 naira we don't need from you, but this thing will be changed tomorrow. And that has happened many times. Many times. Sometimes even my guys are surprised. Because they are on site with the client before I even get there. And they say, hey, wow, beautiful. Then I'll just come. What nonsense is this? And they'll be, hey, this madman has come again. The man that owns the house likes this work. Why can't you just appreciate? I said, no, take it down and do it again. Because I must rate myself first. But it's not enough to rate yourself. You must also reward yourself. So some of you, all you do is rate yourself. So you always run yourself down. Every single thing you do is never good enough for yourself. Everybody else sees the good in all you do. You are the only one who thinks that you are behind. So as you rate yourself, the last point there is that you learn to also reward yourself. You must also learn to have an eye that appreciates the work that you have done for yourself. Is that okay? Number 3, you work on yourself. So number 1, you work without pay. Number 2, you work for yourself. Number 3, you work on yourself. Because some of you need work. And many of you can hardly do work on yourself because in the previous point, you don't even know how to rate yourself. So, adults can lie. Have you noticed? Adults can lie. Adults. See, never ask an adult to give you a remark on how you are dressed. Have you ever asked an adult, how do I look? And you say, you look ugly. Have you ever heard it before? Have you ever heard it before? You ask your friend, how do I look? You say, this clothes is ugly. Remove it. Have you ever heard it before? If all your rating comes from everybody else but yourself, you may be misled. If you truly rate yourself, you will invest time on working on yourself. And the first thing you want to build is build skill. Skill is acquired gifts. Let me explain that. Many of you claim that when they gave birth to you, you had the natural gift of singing. But the people that we listen to on radio are not just people who had gifts in singing. They are people that have trained themselves in singing. Do you know that? They have committed 8 hours to rehearsal in spite of their gift. That 8 hours of rehearsal is to acquire extra gifting to refine the existing gifting. Good. Come on, say, work on yourself. Number 2, you build character. So, as a policy, I rate character over competence, personally. So, there are a number of things. Number 1, write character down. Number 2, write commitments down. If you're writing, write these things down, please. So, number 1, character. Number 2, commitments. Number 3, competence. So those are the 3 things that I always look for when I meet a person. The character, the commitment, and the competence. So many times I always put character before competence. And in many other cases, I also put commitment over competence. So you must develop that character and let that character give birth to commitment. You need to build vision. And the vision will tell you exactly how to maneuver your job, your work, and your passion in the future. And we'll get to that shortly. You need to have a plan, a strategy, and you need to build character. And I'll tell you how to build image. But please, you see, I began by saying build image and what? Integrity. I will teach you in a very humorous way how to build image. But my word of caution is that make sure that your image has integrity to back it up. So number 4, I want to show you now how to build image. Work for people. After you have worked without pay, and you have worked first for yourself, and you have worked on yourself, you need to work for people. And the first thing you need to understand when you work for people is that you must be visible. Be what? And what are right there? You know, in Africa, we make it look as though eye service is a bad thing. So I'll give you an illustration now. Coffee, come. Goodness. So I gave them an assignment to do, these two guys. I gave them a document to sort out for me. And Goodness spent 18 hours. In fact, he worked till 3 a.m. to make sure that the document was ready. While he was doing that, this girl, as I see her here, was doing social media. So he left office by 3 a.m., went home. She left office by 5 p.m. Left him in the office. Since the moment I came back to work the next morning, he's a very humble guy. So he said, please, go and show God this paper. So he gave the documents that he worked on for 18 hours to her and brought to me. She now used 2 minutes to read through it. I said, Sakai, this work took us a lot of time to work, but we have been able to come with a very profound solution. And in fact, I'm so tired. I'm feeling like, but just go through it, and let me know what you think. When I go through it, who will I thank? Him? Her? Who did they work? Who did I see? And then 2 months later, I gave an assignment. The same thing. He used 8 days, prepared the documents. But in the morning, she brought it to me. And began to, in fact, let me tell you what she did that was very annoying. While he was working in those 8 days, she kept on calling me. So we are working on your documents. And we are making good progress. And then she came and met Goodness. Goodness said, I think that Wuse projection may be wrong. If we can find out from Oga, can we consider Guarimpa? She just quickly carried the phone. Sir, that Wuse projection may be wrong. Can we consider? And then after 8 days, she brings the document to me. Because he's a very modest guy. Who will I thank? In the 6th month, we are doing staff review. And I want to give promotion. Who will I promote? Don't talk now. You see what you have been going through in your office, you think it's the devil. It's not the devil. You lack eye service. You lack what? Listen, guys. People reward what they see. Everything that you are using is not the best in the market. It's the one you know. There are many more out there that are better than what you have. You don't buy them because you don't know them. When companies pay billions to be on TV for adverts, they are paying for visibility. They may not have the best products, but they make sure you see them. And if you see them, very likely you will buy them. So she's promoted, and I'm even considering firing him. I said, because Goodness, you are not doing it in this office. And he doesn't even know what I'm saying. He thinks I'm comparing him with Noble. He doesn't know that every job he did, I gave her the praise. Because, you see, when you have 2 children, and one comes and say, Daddy, 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 Tonya beat me. You know your normal reaction? Tonya, come here. There's no proof. But in the concept of family raising, or family planning, or family whatever, family life, the one that comes to report is usually the innocent one. Even if they are the one who slapped the other one, they will slap. Because they know that if they don't run now for backup, this guy will finish them. They will slam him. They're like this, then they run. Daddy, Daddy, he slapped me. Then you know, by the time you finish stammering to explain yourself, you are really looking guilty. In fact, because he may come as a crying, Daddy, but I did not. I've been warning you to stop hitting your sister. Have I not told you to stop hitting your sister? I know you didn't hit her bad, but stop hitting your sister. Is that gear that hits this boy? Come on, say eye service. Please sit down. Say eye service works. But you see, in the previous point, I said you must have image and integrity. If you are working in the office, let your boss see you work. If you are bringing solution, make sure that he knows it was you that brought it. Find a very humble way to tell him. Oh, so, me and Comfy and Goodness, we work together, to come up with a very good solution. And I had to tell them during the meeting that, A plus B is equal to C. And, Goodness did a good job, and Confidence tried. But, I had to make sure that they were on track. You see? It's a very fake humility, but we get it. You have told me indirectly your role. And many of you too, you have clients. You go the extra mile. You see, like when I told you about my story with this client and I pulled down that thing that I didn't like, I made sure he knew about it. Because if he came 3 days after and I had spent 400,000 to fix that problem, will he know? Will he respect me extra? No. But that he knows that Apeh spent extra 100K to fix something that wasn't a problem to me. This guy has integrity. I make sure they know. They must know. If my margin of profit was 1 million and I compromised to 500,000 on your job, I will make sure you know. In your dream, you'll be hearing my voice. I lost money on your job. I lost money on your job. I lost money on your job. But I still did the job. I will still do the job. When you wake up in the morning, you call Apeh. Apeh, God will bless you for that money you lost on my job. Say eye service. Eye service is service for the eye. You need it. All this your humble service you are doing. You will not go anywhere in this world. Even the Bible says, let your good works be seen by men, that men that see your good work will give glory to your Father in heaven. Let your good works be seen by who? You are doing good works. Nobody is seeing your works. You will remain there. Come on, say work for people. It is dangerous not to be needed. And this is dangerous not to be wanted. And I'll explain that. Many of you, by default, you are likable. You know that, right? Many of you, by nature, people just see you and they just like you. Some of us may not have that gift. In fact, many years ago, maybe even till now, people just think that I have a very tough look. So they interpret my tough look or my conservative side as arrogance. That he was even in the room, all of us were just and laughing and dancing. Apeh just sat down in one corner. Because do you understand? So they may not like me, but they must need me. So I'm saying that it's dangerous that you are not needed. It is okay if you are not liked, but it is deadly if you are not needed. And here is 2 points. People need to need you. I will explain that. You see, however useless a person is, if he's on earth, it means that he's here to be needed. Hi, you didn't get it. Let me say that again to this woman. People need to need you. What I'm saying is that people may need you, but they're not aware they need you. There are people in this room that need you. See, they are like, they don't have to want you. They don't even have to want to need you. Does that make any sense? But they need to need you. It is a need in their life that you are needed to them. Yes. Yes, so you see, what is nobody in this company is indispensable. You are not indispensable in my life. Listen, people are indispensable. That's what they are here. If you are here, you are indispensable. You are the only one with your fingerprints. Am I correct? We have only you on this earth. There's no spare part for you, really. Does that mean that you cannot be dispensable? They can dispensable you. But people need to need you. I may have a million things to say. If you are not here, I will talk to the air. Are you hearing me? People, whether they like you, they don't like you. Whether they know it, they don't know it. People need you. Number two, you need to be needed. I follow the difference now. So people need to need you, but on the flip side of it, you need to be needed. And one of the ways you can do that is to help make people's dreams work. So whether you're the boss of your company or you're working for a boss, you need to commit to making other people's dreams work. And you have already built that skill because you have learned to work without pay, right? And you have learned to work for just character. So you can easily commit to somebody else's dream without feeling left out. But while you work to achieve somebody else's dream, serve others while you are giving birth to your own dream. So my point here is that don't think you are wasting your life because you are making people's dreams come to pass. As you are doing that, cultivate your own dream. And isn't it better to risk and experiment on somebody else's dream before you do your own? You rehearse for your dream by helping other people make their dreams come true. Number 5, work for money. Now, this point is a very controversial point because many of you think that money ought to work for you. But you can't have money work for you until you first work for money. So I say get paid and make sure that what you have is a job and not a charity. So at some point, whatever it is you are doing, you may be the best worker. But after some time, man, you've got to be paid. You've got to find a way to have some financial value for that work you're doing. And at the point you are working for that money, you follow the money, not really your passion. You see what I wrote there? Follow money, not your passion yet, or not your passion alone. Many of you are easily distracted by even your own passion. You are moving too slow because all that you follow is you follow your passion. Anywhere you don't see your passion, you don't go to. That's a problem. But now you know from the first class that you can still follow your passion while you are doing a job that you hate. Does that make any sense? If you are doing a job that is beneath you, or you're doing a job that you hate for a passion that you love, you are still working for your passion. Does that make any sense? When you work for money, you are building blocks. And in many cases, you're actually working for the now. You may not have enough money to save to buy a house tomorrow. Your goal is to sustain yourself for now. If you cannot pay your bills, it's hard to think. Do you agree with me? So you need to have enough money coming in to buy breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and maybe sometimes only dinner. But enough food for you to think about 20 years from now. So the money you are earning in this season, in this phase of working for money, is majorly a building block. So I'm saying that in this process, you are building your worth, even if you are paid less. They may pay you less than your worth, but you should invest in your worth. And the best way to invest in your worth is to keep the vision and the future in view. And know that whatever this is simply a building block. So insult me now. Pay me less now. It doesn't matter. It's a building block. I just need your money to eat today. I just need to go home to a place that I call my own. While I'm there, your money will pay for it while I'm thinking about my own house tomorrow. And the way to make it easy on this journey is that you always put people and results over money. Even though you are working for money, the thing that keeps you going is that you place the value for people and the value for the results that you are achieving over the money you are earning. Because it's these two factors that will open uncommon doors for you. People, results over money. Write it down. Number 6, work as a manager. Oh, I can't take this so deeply. So, several factors here. Number one, always be the used. You see, I gave you an example between these two guys. Now, this guy is always a used guy. Do you get? The reason why probably he didn't get promoted was that I didn't see him while I was using him. You see? But he was being used. She was using me. But I'm using him. But there's a use going on. So you want to be the one that is always being used. Because the more they use you, the more useful you are. The less they use you, the more useless you are. It's simple English. Don't feel insulted. If they use you more, you are more useful. If they use you less, you are becoming useless. Useless. So to be a proper manager, you must be the used. Number two, you must also learn to be the user. Because part of your job as a manager is to know how and when to use people. How to apply their gifts. Even some of them don't even know what to do with their own gifts. You will know how to engage their gifts. A manager is a professional user. A manager is the one that has a skill on how not just to know what to use, but has a skill to regulate use. Because if you don't know how to regulate use, you can spoil a good thing. Am I correct? There's a way you will drive your car that you will kill your car in no time. You know why? It's not because the car is not working. It's that you are not using the car properly. You are entering gallops anyhow. So you are killing the car fast. So the job of a manager is to know how to use and to regulate use. So you must be used and you must be a user. Come on, say I'm a user. So I'm using terms that is very, very negative in the African, mindset. Eye service is bad. This guy is a user. He's a user, yes. I'm a user too. No, I'm a user, as a matter of fact. Everybody on our payroll, we are using them. That's why they were paid in the first place. We paid them to give us their time to use them. Am I correct? And you are using people. Whether you admit it or not, you are a user. Whether you are a good user or a bad user, we need to define that. But you are a user. Know when and how to use and be used. Because as much as I want to be used, to be useful, there's a point that I will say that your use is coming misuse. There are ways that people will use you that is misuse and abuse. You know what I'm saying? So you, as a manager, you need to understand when somebody is now misusing you. And in many cases, abusing you. Abuse and misuse is a kind of use. Am I correct? So you need to understand when you are being misused. You also need to know when you are misusing other people. Because there's nothing that kills favor like misusing people of value. And then you need to also appreciate what you have. To be a manager, you must always know what you have. And I said that the reason why I put lion and eagle there is that, you can be an eagle and you are envious of the lion because you want to feast and you want to hunt the buffaloes. And then the lion is there in one corner wishing that he could see the world from where you are. If you're an eagle, be the best eagle. As a manager. If you are a lion, be the best lion. In fact, if you're an antelope, be the best antelope. But define what you have and then know how to use it and know how to allow people to use it as well. Number 7, work productively. I've taught this in the first class, but let me just run through it. So number 1, to be productive, first of all, you must yield more than you eat. You must yield more than you eat. Come on, say yield. Say eat. So hear this, guys. It's important to yield. And it's also important to eat. You must yield. And you also must eat. The difference between a productive and non-productive person is the ratio between what they are yielding and what they are eating. If you are eating more than you are yielding, it's retrogressive. If you are yielding more than you are eating, you are productive. But all of us must eat, and all of us should yield. And in this phase, you must earn for the future. So now you begin to build the blocks for the future. You want to focus on what produces the most. And you want to be careful to pick your battles. The reason why I put that there is that when you are becoming productive, you must watch your exposure. It's not everything that you want to involve yourself in. Because when you involve yourself in too many things, you reduce your productivity. So it's not every battle that is meant for you. Don't fight every battle. There are some problems you are dealing with now that you had no business in the first place going through that problem. It was a waste of your time. It was a waste of fights. To achieve anything in life, it will call for a fight. Do you agree? But some fights are worthless. And then in this place as well, you enlarge your possibilities. Work hard. Oh, I need to stay here small. Work hard. Now, the first thing I wrote here might seem very controversial. Because I'm saying work hard, and the first thing on the list is work smart. Hey, no. There are two different things, For those of you who are very, very eloquent, you cannot say work hard and then you say work smart, because if you work smart, you don't have to work hard. Who told you? Smart work is hard work. Listen, guys, let me tell you now. Let me break that bubble. Smart work is hard work. You don't work smart just like that. People that work smart have committed to coming up with solutions out of hard work, hard thinking, hard research, hard partnerships. So smart work is hard work. And if you work smart enough, you make the hard work easier. But it's still hard work. Are you following me now? So one of the ways to work hard is to walk when you walk. Come on, say walk when you walk. Many of you, when you walk, you do many things. You need to commit to walking every time you are walking. If you don't want to walk back, go and watch Netflix. All this, I can multitask. And you're watching Arsenal. Hey! If you want to watch Arsenal, watch Arsenal. If this work is what you want to do, work. Work every time you work. Because that way, you even work shorter. And you deliver faster. Because you are working every time you're working. Enjoy your work. And this is work with high standards is something I've dealt with already, right? Working for yourself, you rate yourself and you work with high standards. But you need to learn to enjoy your work. Because this complaint you're complaining every night is not helping you. You go to the job, and then every time your fiancé calls you, you spend 2 hours to tell your fiancé how bad your job is or how bad your work is. Because some of you, what you're doing is even your own business. You are selling rice or you are selling shoes. Say, this shoe business bad. It's too bad. This country, people don't appreciate good things. And you spend the next 2 hours telling me why your work is terrible. And every time you do that, you deplete your energy. So you need to learn to enjoy whatever you are doing now. And then you need to learn to work well with others. Because if you don't work well with others, you may be good at what you do, but you can never achieve too much alone, however good you are. So if every time we call your name, people run away, there's a problem. You are good, but nobody wants to work with you. There's a problem. Because that person may be your colleague today, tomorrow may need to be your partner tomorrow. And you have destroyed that possibility because you are too good to respect others. That's your problem. Number 9, work creatively and work consistently. Be dependable, be predictable. Now, be predictable sounds like a quality that many people don't want to have. And they boast, the way I am, I'm very predictable. We work very creatively, so you may not, no, I don't want unpredictable people. I want to be able to predict your results. That's what I'm saying. Let people know that if I give Apeh the job, he will get it done. He will get it done well. He will get it done on time. And he will get it done with integrity. So you've got to be predictable. Because when people refer you for jobs, they are depending on your predictable side. They know that if this woman calls you, you will respect them. They know that if this client calls you, you will do well. If they cannot predict you, they can't trust you to refer you. They may be able to adjust to your unpredictable nature as one client, but they will never refer you because not everybody can deal with an unpredictable solution provider. And then the last thing, yeah. Okay, so I said on this point as well, be a thinker and always find a way to find new solutions to old problems and also find a way to enhance old solutions. So wherever you are as a business person, whether you are working for yourself or working for someone else, always be that guy that they know to provide new solutions to old problems. And the guy that has a way of making old solutions look like new problems. Did you get that? Because he's a thinker and then he's a go-to guy. What's a go-to guy? Every time you want something done, you want to call him. And everybody else in your office think that you are wasting your time. Making it work, we'll go there chill. But a day will come when the promotion comes too. It's you they will call. Once you're the go-to guy, they always come to you whenever there's a prospect. Sometimes even your enemies will call you. Because, you're the go-to guy. They don't like you, but, you're the one to go to. You see my point? Come on, say work. And lastly, make money work for you. And this is very, very key. This is the last point now. This key is very important because it's here that you earn your freedom. And many people think that when you earn your freedom means that you want to quit your job. No. Earning your freedom is freedom of time. You see, money gives you freedom. Do you agree? When you have value and you have more resources, you have the freedom. You have the freedom to go and do your Christmas in the village or go to America. Am I correct? The reason why you stay in Abuja every year is because you lack freedom. You don't have a solution. You don't have any other option. It's bondage. But when you become relevant and you have resource, you have freedom. You have freedom. You have the freedom to choose. And when you are relevant in any space, people can give you break easily. They say, okay, I'm feeling very sick. I want to take like 1 month off. No. Go. Is 1 month okay for you? He said, yeah, 1 month is fine. 1 month is fine. I actually needed 1 week. I just want to use 3 weeks to waste your time. He said, go ahead and waste my time. Go ahead and waste my time. You know why? Because you're relevant. So when you come to a place where money begins to work for you, you earn your freedom. And when you earn your freedom, you also, you don't just earn your freedom from what you're earning. Now you can invest. Now you have set up enough money to invest. So now you are washing toilets, but you have Okada. You are washing toilet and you have Uber. Are you seeing? You are washing toilet and you are farming in your village. You have 8 hectares you are farming. And then in your office, you are earning just 20K. And they say, hey, small boy. But you are worth 8 million. But you are still washing toilets. Because at this point now, are you working for money again? No, you are washing toilets, you are earning 20K. But as you are sleeping, your farm is yielding. Every time you earn money in your sleep, money is working for you. That's what it means. Every time you earn money without your direct control or direct involvement, then money is working for you. Okay, I will be done now. So you want to come to a place in your life, in whatever work you're doing, that at the end of it all, money can work for you. And when money works for you, you are sending money to the future. Not just to wait for you, but to expand for you. Did you get that? So, the problem that many of you have is that all you have is a job. Many of you have a job and you never own a business. That's a problem. So when you come to this phase in your life, you're not earning better money. And you're not chilling. A person will be free. Let me be free. Shawarma, burger. But that freedom is not shawarma and burger. It simply means that you want to put money in a place where your life is bigger than your earnings. Do you know what I'm saying? You may be earning 100K here, but your life is bigger because you are earning 2 million from somewhere else. And you are no longer threatened by your job. See, you are free to do your work with one mind because you are earning more money than your salary. And that salary may not be a salary that's paid to you by your boss. It's even a salary you are paying to yourself. Come on, say be free. And in this phase too, you can follow your passion. I can do this now because, some things have been sorted out. You know what I'm saying? I can take a 1 month trip and be lecturing people every day and be traveling and doing widows outreach. because I have some level of freedom. Am I correct? But even in this, my freedom is not enough for me yet. My freedom, see, my phone has to be off because I don't want any client to come and say, Apeh, come now. So I'm not even really, really free yet. I have some freedom more than last 5 years, but there's still more freedom to attain. A freedom that I can attain and come to the office 2 times a month. That's where I want. Then go to my village house, roast yam, roast goats, and just chill. Then go and visit my children in London. Go and chill in Zambia. Just relax. I want to see the sun in South Africa. Sun. So I just want to see the sunrise. That's real freedom. Not this one I'm doing here. This one is free, not dumb yet. So when money begins to work for you, the more money works for you, the more freedom you have. Because your life now it's now set in autopilot. You see? So you are making money. I mean, you are making money in your sleep. And then you don't need to, you don't need to micromanage everything anymore. We have a farm in Kebbi. I've never been there. In a few days' time, they will pay me money in millions. You know what I did? Last year in November, I sent that money to my future to wait for me. I didn't even know that there would be coronavirus. I didn't know. You see, but as I sent the money jumped coronavirus pass. So Corona was not able to stop the rice farming. In a few days' time, they will send me millions of naira. I've never been to Kebbi before in my life. But I sent money to my future to earn me freedom. Are you following now? And in this place as well, you can follow your passion. This is where you can follow your passion in one mind. You understand what I'm saying? If you're earning some kind of money from your business or your job, you can sing 20 albums. It doesn't have to sell. You know what I'm saying now? When we did a book, Uche, Nobu, how many copies? We printed almost 10,000 copies. It doesn't need to sell. They are in my house, plenty there. It doesn't have to sell. It was not an investment. It's just passion. So if you have some resource on ground, you can follow your passion and follow it blindly. Release album that nobody's buying. It doesn't matter. Just dash people. They will trash it. You'll be feeling happy in your mind that you're following your passion. Say this with me, guys. Say, I am enough. Say, I am possible. Say, I will work. And say, I'm working. Thank you. God bless you.